Hello again, and thanks for tuning into the channel. In this video we continue to travel west towards Saint-Michel, then south towards Baule, but then we move inland and drive through the Dordogne area and down to the south of France. So as we drove through the Dordogne area, we made arrangements to go look at another couple of properties, one of which you'll see just blows us away, and it forces us into making a big decision, which you'll hear about later. So if you like the video, please press that like button, and if you don't mind, maybe the subscribe one too. So yeah, here we go, and we'll catch you later. Cheers. Mont Saint-Michel is a breathtaking island commune off the coast of Normandy, France, famous for its medieval abbey that seems to rise straight from the sea. Surrounded by shifting tides and vast waterbanks, it has been both a place of worship and a strategic fortress for over 1,000 years. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Mont Saint-Michel is not just an architectural marvel, but also a symbol of endurance, faith, and the harmony between nature and human creativity. The crown jewel of the island is the Benedictine Abbey of Saint-Michel. Below, narrow cobblestone streets wind past stone houses, shops, restaurants, art galleries. Leading to stripping views of the bay. At high tide, the island disappears to float like a mirage. At low tide, it's linked to the mainland by a causeway. We didn't hang around too long as the dogs were getting quite agitated, so we moved on to our park up for the night, which is this one. Looks lovely, clean, tidy. It's just the showers let it down badly. We probably wouldn't return here if we had the choice. So we carried on west towards Brittany and beyond, and then we found this campsite in Plancoët, which was great. Lovely campsite, lovely owners, really friendly, good facilities too. So yeah, would recommend this. We found a free stopover spot in La Trinité-sur-Mer, overlooking the Quiberon Bay. Each April, the quiet Breton harbour of La Trinité-sur-Mer bursts into life. This regatta is part championship and part celebration of maritime spirit, where the innovation meets tradition and the new sailing season truly begins, but it brings in crews of amateurs and seasoned pros to test their skills against each other. On shore, the whole port becomes a festival. Quays align with spectators, colourful sail parades, evening concerts and lively markets in the regatta village. This is the second time we've been to this resort, but on France's Atlantic coast, just west of Nantes, lies La Baule. It's one of Europe's most elegant seaside resorts, and its centrepiece is an extraordinary strip of sand, a gentle 8-kilometre crescent ranked amongst the longest beaches in Europe. Today, La Baule balances heritage and modern pleasure. Stately hotels and a glamorous casino line the shore. That is down there. Yeah, it was not that bad, was it? As we came away from the seafront and ventured more inland, we came across bars, cafes, amusements, even more things to see. After leaving La Baule, we moved inland towards Chiroux in the Vienne region of the Charente. We came across this property online, made an appointment to go and view. The property was over 3 different levels, quite a strange looking building really. I wasn't too sure what was built first, second or third. What attracted us to this property was the size of the property, the size of the land. The proximity to Limoges Airport was only about an hour away, and the price as well, €69,000. The downside was it was right next door and neighbouring a farm, a live farm as well. So there was sheep, livestock and all sorts around. And you can't see it on this part here, but there was a massive wall on the boundary between this land and the farmer's property. I suppose another downside is that it was on that road, which, to be fair, but wasn't too busy. That's the outer buildings there you can see, and the farmer's building on the right. Yeah, a bit of a rainy day that day, and the ground was pretty well waterlogged. This is the entrance into the main house. Rotten window shutters. That gate there takes you to the right hand side of the property, which is probably the first built section of the property. Old stone building. We went in and it was a bit of a state. A lot of water coming in, a lot of equipment and things that had been there for, it looks like, years. And again, you can just look at that roof. Believe it or not, half of that roof belonged to the farmer next door, which caused us some concern from a legal point of view where we would stand with that. Moving inside, this is upstairs, top floor. Mishmash of finishes. The floors were a bit wonky. Obviously in definite need of restoration and modernising. Definitely needed modernising. We think it had been lived in by an elderly couple for quite a while, and the family are now looking to move it on. An old bathroom there, all in need of modernisation. The main structure of the building seemed pretty sound and in really good condition, but inside it just seemed strange. Obviously, at home being used to block walls or timber stud walls, these seem to be a mixture of all sorts. Lovely kitchen size there, lovely size of kitchen. So much you could do with that. A dining area. With a bedroom, or a room that they turned into a bedroom off it, probably for the elderly people that live there, easier for them to use. And that was that one. So we moved on further into the Dordogne area and moved into a place called Nontron, where we came across this property. This is the property that made our mind up for us to put our house on the market, because this was the sort of property that we wanted to buy. Split level house. Wasn't too sure if it was stone clad or stone built. I think it was stone cladding because it's that neat. Steel guards on the windows. The windows were timber in need of decoration, probably not to current standards either, so they will probably want renewing. Stairs there to the upper part of the house. Just looks really nice. Moving up to the back of the house, where there's some storage areas, some gated and fenced off areas, some landscaping. Quite a bit of space again on this property. Detached garage with another side building. This is the areas with it. So yeah, moving to the side of the garage, bit of a prefab building by the look of it, but these, yeah, little slanted roof on that, not too sure what that was used for. But we got these fenced off gated areas, almost like pens, whether they were used for animals, livestock, chickens, we don't know. We couldn't really see any evidence of livestock on there, but obviously they were certainly secured areas. The boundary wall had collapsed at the back of these, and that was retaining the land on the other side. So that was definitely work that would need to be done. And it looked like that had been collapsed for some time as well. You can see there must have been at least a couple of foot of land what that wall was retaining, so that would need rebuilding. There's some more land there that belonged to the property. I always get worried about little things like that because of where legal obligations stand between you or your neighbour. You need to look at that. So going into the property, on the ground floor, it's a separate living space. Got its own kitchen, lounge, bedroom. So if you're hosting friends, family or whatever, this is a space that you could just leave them to their own devices, really. Again, in need of modernisation, kitchen needed upgrading, decoration works everywhere. Just bring it up to modern standards. Every window was secure, shuttered, and also with the metal railings outside. I think this room caused me a little bit of a concern because the ground level outside was above the ground floor, and I couldn't tell whether that was damp marks on the wall that were coming through. I don't know, but again, you'd have to investigate. And that's the garage that sits within the house, so an integral garage. Power supply was still on, feeding the building, which was quite unusual, because we know we've been looking at older properties and they've all had the services cut out. Yeah, you can see there all the like damp-looking marks on the walls that need some investigating. But you can just see the potential there for just transforming that into just a great living space. I think that was a part of the garage again, where some storage that could be turned into something else. Yeah, that's right, yeah, and the boiler room was just off it. That was up and running too. That seems to be the standard type of boiler that we've seen in France. This property had a pretty low eco rating. I think it was something like G. I can't remember what it was now, but it definitely needed some modernisation, new windows, etc., to bring it up to decent standards. So this is upstairs. That was the stairs that lead you up to the main living part of the house. This is the kitchen. You know, you could almost move into this property now and use it, but it definitely wants modernising. Really nice condition, clean, tidy. Windows looking over to the neighbours. Yeah, beautiful day that way as well. Doors leading onto a balcony. I don't think we could get through that day. And then this is the main lounge stroke living room. Pretty big, timber floors, got decorative Cornish on the ceilings. Yeah, decoration again was pretty dated. Old-fashioned cast iron radiators, which is a nice touch. Again, views over to the back garden. Yeah, just stunning. Stone-clad chimney breast there internally with a fireplace. You can either update that or keep it, I suppose. Just going through the bedrooms, bathroom, separate bathroom and WC. That we would just talk about if we were going to buy this property, we'd knock that into one. 134,000 euros this was going for, and this is the property that we fell in love with, and it really did make us make a big decision to put our own property on the market. An absolute bargain for what you get for your money. So that's it. That's the video done. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll catch up with you on the next one. But we won't be looking at more houses again probably until the end of this year, early next year, hopefully when we've got an offer on our property. So thanks again.